What's happening there, everybody? Welcome to my beach. I got the glasses on today because I'm feeling hot. Today we're going to be doing the weekly review and outlook, and we're going to be going over 10 pairs. Now remember, Sunday we're going to open with some gaps, so what we're going to be doing is waiting patiently for these gaps to fill or for the market to give us a true directional bias. Now, what I want to say to you is any analysis given today is not signals. It's just my personal opinion on the markets. It's down for you to use whatever strategy or approach you use to find your setups. But just before we start, a quick request. If you're enjoying the content, please give us a like, turn on subscriptions, notifications, and subscribe. Cheers. Now, the reason why I've got my beach today, I'm feeling hot. Just want to let you all know you can trade from anywhere in the world as long as you have a laptop and a phone. You're good to go. Anyway, let's get serious, guys. And ladies. So we're going to look at the dollar index. Last week we was looking at this market structure. We were stuck in a range, and by the looks of it, we're stuck in a range again. Now I want you to notice when I draw these lines, I'm not trying to line them up. What I'm trying to do is get a directional bias. The first thing that I'm looking at is the market up, is it down, or is it moving sideways? For that reason, I've determined that this market structure is moving sideways, meaning I have to wait a little bit more patiently to see what the market's plans are. Now, with the way the structure is forming on this pair, I can see that price is failing to break above these major highs. And within this range, we are making new lower highs. If we look at the structure like this, then in all honesty, I'm seeing a lot more bear pressure than I am bull pressure. For that reason, with the dollar index, my bias for this week coming, at least for the next 24 to 48 hours when the market opens, is down. What I would like to see is the market structure coming back to some of these major levels. I don't want it to respect this level. If I'm looking for sells, then I need this structure to be broken. I need this to be violated and price to come back to retest, or at least create some sort of lower highs within this structure after the breakout and the close. Okay, make sure you got that. I'm waiting for price to break out and close below this structure strong, to then look for price to come back for a lower high formation, a double top formation, and then a continuation to the downside. That's my view on the dollar index. Pretty simple outlook, but as I said, there's not much to go by. So how are we drawing this chart up? Well, our major highs, let's identify the lower high formation where price is respecting now, and let's identify our major low where price can come to. Now, this range is fairly big, so if price does give me an opportunity within this range to this range, then potentially I could look for a sell opportunity, as long as I can get to break even before I start to face some sort of trouble around these support levels here. Okay, the next pair that we'll take a look at is gold. Now, my directional bias on gold is actually down. The reason why I'm saying that is the overall market structure, if I look at this chart, is actually down. Now, after this downward move, we did have the break, but if you notice, price is actually failing to break above these levels here. And this is the level that I'm really concentrated on. Now, I can see there's a big bullish wave to the upside. We have cleared some of these structural highs, but this is a very strong candle, which to me kind of makes me think that this is news inflicted or some sort of manipulation. I'm not really interested in manipulation. I don't care. I'm not here to be right or wrong. What I'm here to do is identify how price reacts to major levels, looking for evidence, and then when I'm looking to take a trade, I'm looking for confirmation. So for that simple reason, unless gold is able to break above these structures, close above strong, I'm still sell biased on this market. What would I be looking for? Well, I'm going to be looking to see how price reacts in and around this level. If we can have some sort of push to the downside with a lower high formation, or again a double top formation to confirm that price is failing to break and the bearish pressure is significantly evident, and then I'm looking to sell this market. What will be some of my targets? Well, I'm a 1 to 3 risk reward ratio trader. Regardless of structure, I focus on management of my trades before I worry about my profits. So major levels clearly is going to be the structural level here. This is a huge range on gold, so I'll be looking to see how price reacts in and around this range to the downside, to see if I can get some good sell opportunities. If price breaks above this structure, then of course I'll change my directional bias. Once price breaks, closes above, leaves this area for a significant amount of time, comes back to retest it, and then look for some buys. This will take around 20-24 hours for this to happen, so I'm not going to be fussed about that too much. Muddling up my words there a bit, but hey ho. Next pair we're going to take a look at is oil. Now, unfortunately, with this market structure, it is very, very not clear. So for that reason, I'm just going to identify what price has done last week. Now, we know this was news inflicted due to the strikes. We had the continued pump to the upside to about 63, which was a target that we was looking for price to come back to. And now within that level, it's back here. Here. This level here, okay? This level here. Now, we had price come back to this level. As you can clearly see on this market structure, we've had a reaction. We haven't had a continued pump to the upside. For that reason, I started to see the market go down, and my bias on this market was sells. However, during the progression of last week, price got trapped within a range, and this range could not get violated. So oil at the moment is a little bit unclear. So simple analysis on this pair. Remember, we look for up, down, or sideways market. Let's straight. And once we've decided where the market is at, we can choose our directional bias on what we're looking to take. For that reason, because it's sideways, I need a clean break above structure, a clean break below structure, and then price to give some sort of confirmation evidence to take some trades. The reason I'm not trading within this range is because price is not giving any clean bounces from the top or from the bottom, meaning that there's a whole heap of confusion here. I'm waiting for orders to be filled. Once the market moves in the direction it wants to move, then I'll jump on the bandwagon then. So your levels for oil is going to be your major structural high, your major structural low, and that's it. Bob's your uncle. Next pair. We're looking at GJ. Now, GJ, funny enough, looks like a very overextended market. Now, I'm not a GJ professional like some of you are. However, I can clearly see the market was up. During this phase of the market being up, I have identified in and around this level that price is failing to break above structure. That signifies to me that the bears are stepping in the market. Not only do we have identifier mark here that price is failing to break above, we also have a major level in the market where price was failing to break below. And as you can see, at the close of last week, we had a huge bearish push to the downside. Now, when I say I'm looking for price to break close below or break close above, this is a fine example of that. And this to me signifies that potentially we're going to have a sell buy structure moving forward next week. Now, this may develop over the next 24 to 48 hours after the market's open, so I'm going to wait patiently. The levels that I'm going to be looking at on this pair are clearly our major structural level lows with price action breaking closing below structure. I'm looking for price to leave this level to come back for a beautiful, perfect retest of structure, or I'm looking for price to trade simply below these levels in the market, looking for sell opportunities anywhere in and around this level. Once I get the evidence, I'll be looking for my confirmation using the criteria that I use within my strategy to enter the market. So GJ's bias is down. The next pair we'll take a look at is Euro Yen. My bias on this pair is down. As you can clearly see, we had a huge gap in the market last week, indicating bearish pressure. We had the bull step back into the market, failing to create a higher high of this structure. And then we had a significant amount of bearish pressure to the downside. Now, with this bearish pressure, this is the reason I'm going for sells. We have our structural highs. We have our lower highs within structure. And just to make this clear so that you can see this, if you're not familiar with market structure, when we drop down to the hourly time frame, you'll see this much clearer. Okay, structural high, lower high, lower high, lower high, and now we have continued push to the downside. With that being said, what I'll be looking for is where price is reacted to at our major level, which is here. We've had a strong break and close below structure. So now I'll be looking for price to pull back for a nice retest, or at least create a lower high formation within this level here. As long as price stays below this level, I'm sell bias all the way. Unless price action starts to create structural highs, higher lows, and then higher highs, then I'll change my structural bias, okay? So the levels you want to draw on this level, oops. Okay, we're sorted. Jeez, the sun's getting in my damn eyes. Right, is this level here. And as long as price trades below this level, I'll continue to look for sells again until the structure changes either to structural higher lows, higher highs. Okay, nice simple analysis. EJ. So the next pair that we're going to be taking a look at is going to be Aussie dollar USD. Now, my analysis on this pair is clearly down. This is very simple. What we're looking at on this market is a clear sell by structure. We have structural high lows, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, and now we have a lower low on this market. Okay, very simple. What I'm going to be looking at is my major level here. And if price comes back to this level for a nice retest, then I'll be happy to sell this market once I get the evidence confirmation that is required of me within my trading plan. This could be different for everybody, guys, but of course, just a key level that I'll be looking out for. Simple analysis. And these are the structures you want to talk about. If you haven't watched my previous YouTube video, I suggest you do it because it's going to help you to identify 3 structures that you can trade and how you can look at the market within a matter of 5 to 10 seconds to determine whether you want to trade those markets or not. The next pair we'll take a look at is UJ. Now, if we look at this market structure, it clearly says to us that it's down. We see a structural high in this market, break of previous structure indicating continued bearish pressure, a break of this structure indicating continued bearish pressure. Very simple analysis, no more to be said about this. This is a major rejection area on this market. This is where I'll be looking for price to come back for a nice retest and continuation. Simple. Job done. On to the next one, Euro USD. Now, this market structure is not very clear. If you look at it, you can see that we've been very choppy for a very long period of time. We broke out of range 1. We broke back into range 1. We then broke out of range 2, and then we've come back into range 3. We have 3 ranges on this market. Very, very unclear where price is going at the moment. Now, if we're looking at this as new form structure and behavior, yes, we have more significant bearish pressure here. But would we really, even after price is broken out of this range, where are we at? Here. Do we really want to sell into this major structural level? Probably not. So what I'm going to be looking for now is my ranges as my major structural highs and then my major structural lows. If I'm going to continue with the sell by structure, identifying this as a lower high, I'm looking for price to pull back and look for my range to sell from this point or in and around this lower high back down to this level, or very simply, I'm going to be waiting for price to break, close below this structure, retest structure, and then continue. Okay, notice how we built that up. We identified that price was in range 1, range 2, breakouts, break back ins, and then we have a range 3 here that price has broken, indicating bearish pressure. However, we have a major level we don't want to sell into, so we're going to wait for a nice clean pullback to give us enough range from this point to sell the market so we can get to break even, or we're simply just going to wait for price to break this level, retest, and continue down. Okay, simple. Next pair we'll take a look at is Pound USD. Now, this market structure is clearly up. However, I see this structure as potentially reversing. The reason I say that is we had a range here in the market where price broke above, closed above, but then broke back into structure. Now, this always indicates to me an indecision in the market, because if there was true bullish directional bias from this market, we would have seen this at least continue up or retest some of these levels and show some sort of resistance. It never. It broke above, it broke back in, and then we can see the next 4-hour candle, we had bulls trying to attempt to push into the market and failed, leaving a strong indecision wick, and now we have this bearish sentiment. For that reason, for the next 24 to 48 hours, I'm going to be looking at this market structure as being violated. I'm going to be looking for price to come back to some of these major levels here for a nice double top of the structure. I'm simply going to be looking for price to come back to make a lower high within this formation and continue down. I hope you saw how I built that up. On to the next one. The next pair we'll take a look at is USD CAD. Now, with this structure on this market, again, you can clearly see that this is ranging and we have price showing it can't break above these levels. And what I want you to notice, guys, is I'm not trying to line anything up. Again, I'm just coming to my charts within 3 to 5 seconds, trying to identify what's happening. It's moving sideways. For that simple reason, this is classed as a ranging market to me. What I'm waiting for is for price to break, retest, continue. And again, break, retest, continue. Simple. Let me drink some damn Coke now. All this talking got my mouth dry. Damn. Cool. So that's USD CAD. On to the next one. What have we got here? Aussie dollar CAD. So looking at this market structure, let me just check something real quick. I'm not supposed to be doing this pair, but we'll do it. Clearly down. Okay. With the structure on the market, I'm looking for sells only. Now, with this structure, I'm looking at this as my lower high. Now, this is what I'm talking about. Once price shows that it's failing to break above structure, we have rejection wicks. This is indicating an area in the market where price is showing that sell orders are placed at. Okay. Now, we don't sell this level immediately because we never knew it was going to go down. But once price pulls back to these major levels, you can look for some sort of evidence confirmation to then sell the market again. Go down to your hourly time frame. You can start to look how price is reacting. We have breakouts, break back into structures. Down to the 30-minute time frame, we have nice breakouts, break back into structures. You may not be ready to sell this structure here, but once you have the momentum shift from up to down, you can look for some of these levels here with sell stops around these levels to look for selling opportunities. Now, prices come back to another major level on this market where, again, we have the same situation. Price is showing signs of sell orders. Price comes back to these levels here, and then what happens? Price goes down. So how am I looking at this market structure? Well, let's keep it super duper simple. This is my major level on this market. This price has reacted here also already. This was a break and close below structure indicating continued bearish pressure. I'd like a nice retest of this level or to allow price to come back anywhere below this previous lower high to give me evidence confirmation to then sell this market down. When would this structure change? Well, this structure will change if price pushes up, creates a higher low, continues up to make a higher high, and then what would I do? I'll jump on a bandwagon and I'll make sure that I'm going with the flow of the river. Okay, simple. So I hope you enjoyed the analysis this week. We done a 10 pairs plus one. Okay, leave some comments down below. Let me know your thoughts. Tell me what you want to see next. And other than that, enjoy the rest of your Sunday and we'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.